Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. What would it take? Who would you need to become? And what choices could you make to create a happier life for yourself and those around you? Are these questions that we think about, or are we sometimes so caught up in our rituals and habits, some of which serve us better than others, that we don't think about the potential of what our lives could be, the potential of being even happier than the last time you were the happiest, and the potential of achieving our hopes and dreams. So when Puneet Singh approached me asking me to speak tonight, I wasn't sure which topic to speak on. Education or parenting came to mind, but after thinking about it, what I knew I wanted to share was all the good stuff that can happen in our lives if we focus our attention on the wonderful things and experiences that occur around us all the time. I also began reflecting upon the conscious changes I've made in my life and continue to make that have supported my journey in feeling good about who I am, where I'm at, and being okay with whatever's happening around me. The power of positive thinking, of having a positive attitude, of being a positive person has almost become a cliche. However, my belief is that we can never talk enough or be reminded enough about something that has the power to create a greater world, which it does. Now, is having a positive mindset enough to lead us to living a happier life? No, but it is certainly a part of the process. And that's exactly what this is, a process or progression that takes a conscious effort on our part to build. And whichever stage of progress one is at is the absolute perfect stage for that person at that time of their lives. So why is having a positive outlook important? Because studies show that having a positive or growth mindset leads to living a happier life, which in turn leads to achieving what we individually deem as success. So Carol Dweck, author of the book Mindset, The Psychology of Success, writes about a fixed versus growth mindset. The distinction between the two is that the fixed mindset is the belief that intelligence and ability is permanent, or has very little change, while the growth mindset views it as opportunities for improvement. So consider a scenario where someone oversleeps, misses their breakfast, doesn't make a lunch because they're rushing to get to work and arrives to work late anyways. A fixed mindset may see this as a ruined day or a start to a bad day, whereas the growth mindset reflects upon what changes they can make for next time so it doesn't happen again, like getting up earlier or setting their alarm. The growth mindset is always looking for solutions and ways to improve. My belief is that we can stretch our perspective and shift towards a more Chardi Kala or growth mindset by doing the following: learning from our children, being grateful, making choices with intention, and surrounding ourselves with those who uplift us. So I'm going to begin with gratitude, because I consider this to be the foundation for my positive outlook. Now, my own positive mindset, just like so many of ours, goes up and down. Just ask my family. However, during those down times, I reflect on why my outlook is negative and work towards changing it. And usually what brings me around is being grateful about something or someone. Gratitude is a thankful appreciation for what one receives. And with gratitude, we can acknowledge the good in our lives. There have been many studies done in this area. So positive psychology is the scientific study of what makes life most worth living, essentially trying to figure out the good life through research and data. These studies prove things like how gratitude helps with positive emotions, how it improves health and dealing with adversity, as well as building strong relationships. A 2017 positive psychology study by professors at the University of Indiana found that gratitude can also have an effect on people with mental health challenges. University students seeing counselors for mostly depression and anxiety were divided into 3 groups. The first group was instructed to write 1 letter of gratitude to another person each week for 3 weeks, whereas the second group was asked to write about their deepest thoughts and feelings about negative experiences. The third group was a control group. They didn't do a writing activity. The study found those who wrote weekly letters of gratitude felt significantly better in their mental health after 4 and 12 weeks of the assignment ending over the other group. Moreover, they also found that by using positive words in their letters, it provided an absence of negative words, thoughts, and emotions, which also improved their mental health. In fact, the study revealed it was the lack of negative emotions in words, not the abundance of positive ones, that explained the mental health gap between the gratitude writing group and the other groups. If we understand that gratitude has a positive impact on our mental health and overall well-being, how then can we cultivate more of it in our lives? Well, here are some ideas. You can thank someone mentally. You may not have the time to take up a gratitude journal or write down your gracious thoughts in a day. Therefore, try to thank someone in your head. Your mom for making peronte, thanks mom. Your coworkers for helping you out, or your favorite barista at whichever ethically sourced coffee bar you're all drinking at. The great thing about this exercise is that you can do it anywhere and to anyone or anything. Once you start, you'll notice yourself doing it more often, which will give you all sorts of good feelings and send out all sorts of good vibes into the universe. Secondly, enjoy new experiences. I went camping for the first time, my camping partner. And it was incredible. If there's ever a place where it's easy to be grateful, it's in nature. I was awed by the wonder of the blue skies and trees and mountains all around me. I was truly grateful for the experience and truly grateful for the toilets. Plus, the excitement of doing something new gave me another fresh reason to be grateful for what I have in my life. So your new experience doesn't have to be camping, although highly recommended. I feel like I'm an expert after one weekend. But your activity can be as simple as learning to knit or gardening. The activity doesn't matter. Do what works for you. What matters is the enjoyment of a new experience. Another way to include gratitude is to receive gratefully. This idea really resonated with me because usually I brush off compliments and thanks with a no worries or not a problem and try to divert attention away from me. However, according to the Deepak Chopra Wellness Center, the law of giving and receiving places equal emphasis on both sides. Therefore, accepting graciously allows you to vibrate with gratitude. Finally, meditation or prayer offers a space to be in the present moment without any judgment. When you're in a peaceful state of mind, it's easier to count your blessings, think about all the things you're grateful for, and visualize the abundance in your life. We're so blessed because in Sikhi, there are so many opportunities to be grateful for through good barni. We give gratitude during the ardas, before we eat, while reciting nitnem, before any type of important event in our lives. It's in these moments that we can strive to be more gracious when those opportunities of gratitude arise. Eckhart Tolle states, acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. And it's also a way for us to appreciate and refocus on what we have instead of what we lack. So it may feel contrived at first as this mental state grows with practice and use. So the more you use it and practice it, the more natural it will become for you. A positive mindset can also be developed by making choices that bring you closer to whatever happiness means for you. You may think that all is required to make these choices is self-discipline, but really, how many of us know what to do and what to eat to live a healthier lifestyle? If we know these things, what then is the block? Dr. Ben Shahar, author of the book Happier, suggests that while some may think self-discipline is the answer, he believes it to be the creation of rituals. And I'm going to go further to say developing positive habits. He writes, building rituals, habits, requires defining very precise behaviors and performing them at very specific times. These rituals require you to intentionally choose which habits you want to create, thus determining the outcomes from those choices. Choosing intentional rituals and habits shouldn't be overwhelming. Actually, just the opposite. You want to focus on one small thing at a time to be successful in following through on making those changes. Patience is the key in this case, as it takes, according to scientific study, about 66 days to make or break a habit. So think about one small ritual or habit you can incorporate that has specific behaviors you can do at specific times, so you can see positive change. Making choices with intention and purpose can change the trajectory of your life, and here's an example. Imagine a situation where a young boy sees his father abuse his mother daily. Imagine he's obese with serious health issues, and he's getting a 1.6 GPA in high school. If I were to determine his success based on this information, it would be a very bleak and underwhelming outcome. We may even use the situation and experiences to make excuses for his mediocre life. However, this boy had one thing going for him, and that's his mental toughness. His ability to know that the decisions he makes will give him control over his life. This boy is David Goggins, ultra-marathon runner, cyclist, triathlete, and world record holder for the most pull-ups in 24 hours. He's the epitome of what it means to persevere in the face of adversity. He overcame one obstacle after another, including the above, and a congenital heart defect, which left a hole in his heart and worked at about a 75% capacity. This defect would normally prevent someone from scuba diving or competing activities at high altitudes, but David Goggins proved this wrong by being the only member of the US Army who has training in Ranger School and Air Force Tactical Control. As well, he's a Navy SEAL. So you can imagine what kind of strenuous exercises and daunting mental tasks he was put through. He attempted Hell Week twice and then requested to do it a third time. So if you don't know what the Navy SEAL Hell Week is, Google it and understand why asking to do it a third time is considered crazy. The point is, David Goggins is someone who constantly chooses to push his own personal boundaries, and by doing this, he builds up his mental toughness and stamina, making him a person who has a positive and strong mindset. Another part of creating a positive mindset has to do with the important concept of sangat, or community. Bhagat Kabirji says, "Jo jaisi sangat mile, sota so phal khai." According to the company it keeps, so are the fruits it eats, in which case Kabirji is referring to the mind. This then begs the question, do the people in your life uplift you to be a better version of you? Do they encourage you, support you, make you happy? Sometimes the people you're closest to can be the most toxic, which makes it difficult to navigate through tough conversations. Now, there may be very little you can do about their mindset, as you're only in control of your own, and you're on your own personal journey of growth, as are they. What you can do is be the best version of you and uplift them when you see them. I don't mean for you to burn bridges with all your friends and family, rather to think about which interactions you want to participate in with them. Limit your involvement with negative people and surround yourself with people who make you see things in a positive outlook. Find a mentor, someone you look up to, someone who has an attitude and zest for life that you aspire to have. These mentors can be authors of books, they can be found in podcasts and on social media. They don't necessarily have to be anyone you know personally, just people that say or do things that resonate with you in a positive way. The community you choose to socialize and spend your time with have a lot of influence over what you think and how you see the world. In turn, what you think and how you see the world determine your actions, and your actions create your reality. So take some time and think about your daily interactions with others and decide how you want to move forward. Sometimes just having an honest conversation about how you feel or what you want to achieve may provide an opportunity for someone else to see things in a more positive light. The sangat, or community you choose to surround yourself with, should serve your soul's higher purpose. So one type of sangat everyone should have in their life is children. Our children are the best teachers of what it means to have a positive mindset. Curiosity, wonder, and play are just a few of the characteristics children have that make it easier to have a positive mind. How many of you here have young children that you can associate with? Your own, your neighbors, kids at the grocery store, it doesn't matter. Young children, I mean toddler ages around 3 or 4, are constantly in exploration and play mode. So if you've spent any time with children that age, you know they have so many questions and are always asking why. The great thing about asking questions, being curious, and having a sense of wonderment is that you're on a constant quest for knowing more. Interested people are interesting people because they genuinely care to learn and expand their knowledge. This learning fills negative space with knowledge and curiosity to learn more. Young children don't have time to think about the negative aspects of their life because they're too busy playing. Which means we all need to learn from them and figure out how to add more play into our busy schedules. Now, this could be by finding some young children, and I'm sure there's parents here who would take you up on that offer, or you can organize fun games with your friends and family, board game nights, or sports events like archery tag that some GNA fitness participants had fun with. Again, you need to find what works for you. Finally, having a sense of Chardi Kala. A synonym for a positive outlook is a reminder how we can strive to be. Kala is a Sanskrit word meaning energy, and Chardi meaning rising or ascending. The combination gives Sikhs the inspiration and reminder to be in rising or high spirits. There are many examples of being in high spirits in Sikh history until now. From Guru Arjan Dev Ji's Shahidi, to Bhai Jagraj Singh from Basics of Sikhi, who left his body due to cancer. His passing clearly showed the meaning of Chardi Kala through the power of Sangat and good Barni. I'm also inspired by people like Ravi Singh, who always seems to be in a state of Chardi Kala. He's the CEO of Khalsa Aid, an organization that has humanitarian projects all over the world, and they work tirelessly supporting refugees in places like Greece and Yemen. Ravi Singh's passion to serve and his vision to create positive change has him working in war-torn areas. Now, I don't know him personally, but I imagine his work brings him face to face with the unjust and tragic experiences human beings endure. However, despite it all, him and his team continue to do important work. I'm also sure there are times that make it difficult for him to trust in the process, but because of his Jardikalanis, he can push past the negatives and understand he is there to serve and uplift people who need it. A quote I read described it perfectly as, being able to accept things as they are and letting go of which you cannot control. Being in a state of Chardi Kala allows you to let go of the weight you carry and leave it to the universe to handle so you can focus on loving what you already have and what is still coming your way. So having a positive or Chardi Kala mindset allows us to be conscious of those things we can't control and use what we can control. Being grateful, making choices with intention, being with uplifting Sangat, and being childlike to further us along in our journey of happiness. So in the Sikh prayer Ardas, it concludes with a request to uplift and bring peace upon all of humanity, which is what I'd like to leave you here with tonight. Nanak Naam, Chardi Kala, Tere Pane, Sarbata Pala. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.